Hello, my name is Emily Bloom, and today we're going to discuss the use of holiday pay within an organization and the specific requirements for claiming holiday pay. For today's discussion, I'm going to be acting as the Director of Human Resources for Saga Food Services. During this presentation, I'll address several points about Mr. John Arnett's perceived holiday pay and the reasons why he is not entitled to holiday pay for the Tuesday following Labor Day due to his use of a personal day following the holiday. On slide 3, you will see several different facts about the case. Specifically, Mr. Arnett works at Saga Food Services. He works 4 10-hour days from Tuesday until Friday. Labor Day was on Monday, so consistent with the past Saga Food Services policy, Mr. Arnett's holiday was then scheduled for Tuesday. He took his regularly scheduled holiday on Tuesday, and then at 11 o'clock on Tuesday night, he called Saga Food Services and left a message with the clerk that he would not be at work the following day, which would have been Wednesday. He said that he needed to take a personal day. Mr. Arnett did not receive any kind or talk to a supervisor. However, he was still allowed to take that personal day because we do allow that as long as it is not less than 1.5 hours prior to his start work time. However, Saga Food Services did deny Mr. Arnett's holiday as he did not fulfill the collective bargaining agreement requirements. Slide 5 goes through the actual section of the collective bargaining agreement that we're relying on for this case. We have determined that he is not entitled to holiday pay since he did not follow the steps for a legitimate excuse for taking a personal leave day following the holiday. As you can see, Article 7 of the collective bargaining agreement under holidays, section 7.03, states that holiday pay allowances will be given subject to the following terms and conditions. The employee shall have worked his fully scheduled workday immediately before and immediately after the holiday, except for proven sickness or injury. The shift manager may offer to waive this rule in advance of the holiday, and acceptance thereof by an employee or employee shall be on a seniority basis. Clearly, as shown on slide 6, the issue at hand is that Mr. Arnett violated the collective bargaining agreement by taking a personal day following a holiday. If Mr. Arnett had sought and received prior approval from his supervisor, he would not be in this position and he would have been given his holiday pay. However, being that he called the night before late at night and simply told the clerk on duty he was taking a personal day the following day, the company went ahead and approved his personal day, but since he did not speak to a supervisor and he did not provide Saga Food Services with a doctor's note showing illness or injury, he is not eligible for the holiday pay for that day. Mr. Arnett has decided to follow a grievance in this case. He does not agree with our decision. Slide 7, it shows a grievance flow chart which shows 4 steps. The grievance is filed with the supervisor and union representative. Step 2 is an appeal is filed based on step 1. Step 3, an appeal is filed based on step 2. And step 4 is final and it includes arbitration. There are specific timeframes for each step that are set forth in the collective bargaining agreement. We'll follow those steps fully. The step 4 does show that it is final. It actually was found in Penn versus Plaza Pilot. The Supreme Court found that the union can waive an individual's union member's statutory rights as long as there is an arbitration procedure involved. So the collective bargaining agreement does contain language waiving an employee's right to pursue a remedy in federal court. That leaves section 4 of slide 7, step 4. That does make that arbitration binding. So it ends right there. That's as far as they can go. We need to devote a significant amount of time to this. In our stance, we need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to handle this grievance appropriately, consistently, effectively. Not only for our own business, but for the employee. We do need to be fair and make sure we're following each step that is required here. We do need to make sure, as noted on slide 10, that there are no outstanding issues that we're dealing with. Clearly, there is no discrimination in this case. There's no reason that we're discriminating against Mr. Arnett. This is simply a case of a disagreement on the collective bargaining agreement. He has not alleged that there's any age, gender, sexual orientation, disability issues, but we do need to just review that, make sure that's not an issue in this case. Based on all of the following we've just covered, we need to hold our initial meeting. That is step one. And we will see if we reach an agreement at that point. Our case is simply based on the language of the collective bargaining agreement. And of course, we'll follow everything from the past research, past rules and regulations to make sure everything is handled appropriately and as it should be. Of course, we'll follow the grievance policy as listed in the collective bargaining agreement. We'll make sure we do everything in a timely manner to get this resolved for Mr. Arnett as quickly as possible. And we do need to devote a lot of time and resources to this. I can't stress that enough. We need to make sure that we are handling this appropriately. In conclusion, slide 12 notes that the only reason that that this grievance could probably be withdrawn would be if Mr. Arnett would provide us with a doctor's excuse indicating that he was sick or he had an injury. Because of course, per the collective bargaining agreement, that is appropriate for this kind of case. And then we would give him that holiday pay that he is asking for. At this point, we don't think that he's going to provide us with a doctor's excuse, so I think we're going to have to go through the grievance procedure. I think that based on the grievance procedure research and our strong position, given Section 7.303 of the collective bargaining agreement, I feel that should the situation arise to the level of binding arbitration, the arbitrator will rule in our favor. Thank you for listening today, and I hope you learned something about Mr. Arnett's position and our position, and that you understand the specific rules that we're going to follow to get through this, and if you have any questions or concerns, to let me know. Thank you.